So this was your first trip to Japan,
Yeah.
right? And so what was that like? Like the travel part. Tell me about like getting there and arriving. Like what were
Okay.
some of your first impressions?
All right. So the first thing was I left from LA.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reasonably long flight. It's like from LA, it's 14 hours or so. But of course, I used my miles, so it was, American Airlines went beyond and like they really tried and made it worse.
They went
So they
above and
sent,
beyond,
yeah, exactly. So they sent me to Dallas. Like, okay,
naturally.
obviously the wrong way, right?
Yeah. It's always
Japan
best
is
to start off a trip by going away from your destination.
exactly. So they were really like really wanted to make me, hate the traveling part of it.
Yeah.
So I went to Dallas, have to wait for like 14 hours. So that's my layover.
14 hours?
Yeah, so
Really? Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
wow, this is terrible.
That's not even gonna be the same day. Like, you're.
It wasn't. That was the problem. So I get
Oh my
to,
God. You
it
haven't
was like,
even left the country yet.
exactly. So I get to Dallas and I'm like, all right, this is great. So we happen to know someone from Scandal Heaven there. So, I hang out with him basically the entire night. But
Uh-huh.
it's like, it was from like 7 p.m. to like, or it was like, oh, sorry, from like 5 p.m. to like 6 a.m. or something. That's how long we
Yeah.
had to wait. And then it's like we couldn't go anywhere because we didn't want to I didn't want to pay for a hotel because
Yeah.
it's just gonna be a few hours. So we were basically going around Dallas. Just we checked out some stuff in Dallas,
At like
but
3
I'm
a.m.
yeah, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm going to Japan. Like, why do I have to? It's not that it was bad, but it's like, why do I have to distract myself with this for the time being?
Uh-huh.
It just wasn't. I just wish I could have gone directly. Right? So 6 a.m. comes in, and
So
it's
now
finally
you're
time.
excited.
Now it's actually happening. Like for the entire time, I couldn't believe this was actually happening because this
Uh-huh.
was my first time in Japan, so I've never been. I don't know. I've liked Japanese culture and music and food and stuff for like several years, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, I can't believe this is actually happening. Like I'm in the air going to Dallas. I can't believe this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Dallas waiting for my flight to go to Japan. I still can't believe this is happening. So 6 a.m. comes by. Another Scandal Heaven friend drops by from LA. So we meet up, we get breakfast, and then we get on the plane to Japan.
Yep.
So it's finally happening. It's a 15-hour flight. So as you can see, it's more than 14, which is from LA. So it's long.
Yeah.
And so we get on the plane, we sit down, and it's like we're next to each other. I got an
That's
aisle
good.
seat, so it's pretty good. And then we're looking at these screens on the seats, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we're wondering, it's like, did we just get like the oldest plane in American Airlines, garage? It's like this has to be the oldest plane because they had like 2, 4, 2 rows
Uh-huh.
instead of like I don't know 3, 4, 3 or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's kind of
So we
weird
had
too
or
on
like
that
it was like
side.
2, 5, 2 or something like that. It was like
Yeah.
super weird. We're like, what the hell?
Huh.
So then we're trying to like figure out this screen, and we're like, is this even a touch screen? Like I can't even. And then I'm like, yeah, I think that's a touchscreen. So I'm touching it. It's like, oh yeah, it is a touchscreen. It's like, oh, what the hell? That's so weird. It just looks so old.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, okay, I'm gonna just watch some movies. It's free. It's an international flight. So I click on a movie, and then it says next session in like 5 minutes. So I'm like, wait a second. I can't even watch the movie as I please. I have to like watch it while other people are also watching it. So this means I can't even pause it while I go to the bathroom. Like,
Yeah.
is this the standard, that American Airlines is up to now? Like, come on, man, that's ridiculous, dude. So
Yeah,
we're like,
that's
okay,
pretty
this
old.
this plane is terrible. We're like, okay, it doesn't matter. We're gonna go to Japan. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
And then we're just like this we were like, you know what? We're in this plane. We're gonna be here for 15 hours. Might as well get a little drunk while we're at it.
Mm-hmm.
At least get our money worth. So we asked this lady for beer. She hooked it up every time with some Japanese beer. So we're like, okay, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
And then every time she came by, we get 2 beers at least. So we're kicking it. We're just sleeping mostly through because it's like the movies were terrible anyway.
Mm.
It's like the only movie worth watching was like that movie about the drummer. Anyway, I forgot about it. I forgot the name of it. It was pretty good. And then, it's like, okay, finally, we're landing. So it's like, okay, wow, I can't believe this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And when we land, we go get our Wi-Fi hotspot. So it's like, I've never been to Japan, and all the time everyone says, you know what, people don't really speak English to you because it's just not, or the people when they try, it's like it's not, it's they're actually it's their second language. Like it's not popular.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not. They're not super good at it. And
Like
okay,
compared to Europe or something, the
Yeah.
the level of English is not as good.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm expecting people to like not even attempt to speak in English.
Yeah.
So we arrive in Narita, and then we're going through. We get our bags and everything. I haven't talked to any Japanese person at this point. And we're walking through these vending machines. I'm like, oh my god, dude, there's the vending machines. Oh my god. So of course we go get some. I go get some like energy drink or something like that. It was pretty good. And then Neil goes to our friend goes to get the Wi-Fi thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm just, he starts talking to her in English when he knows some Japanese. So I'm like, okay. And then she starts speaking in perfect English. I'm like, what the hell? I was like legit shocked. I was like, oh my god, that is like legit. That's perfect English. I had no idea like that was gonna be the case.
Yeah, the airports are usually decent. Like, I mean, of course, there's so many like international travelers.
Yeah, but it's like we had just been around the world for the world tour for Scandal.
Yeah.
In Mexico, nobody at the airport spoke English. Like nobody.
Really?
We were like, well, at least we were hoping for some people to speak it. Nope.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay. And then this happens, in Japan. I'm like, wow, I'm really like legit surprised. So it's like, okay, that's really great. So when we go through, we get our bags, and I have 2 bags, large bags, that I have to roll around. But one of them, the thing was stuck, so it would be like too short for me. So I was like, dude, I can't really. I had to bend over to roll the bags. I'm like, this is not gonna work. So I traded with our friend. I carry his bag or his box, and he rolls around my bags. It's like, okay. We get our train tickets, and I've never been on a train like this before. So we get on the trains, and I'm like, this is like, I see the picture of all the lines, and I'm like, that is just ridiculous.
Like the JR map or something of Tokyo. It's just like
all the lines.
It's like literally a plate of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Like, worth of, like,
with different color
everywhere.
spaghetti, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, this can't be it. And then he's like, oh, we're gonna take this line, and then this many stops. I'm like, what? And we have to count the stops? Are you kidding? So we're gonna get off at this station, then we have to get another train and get off of that. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm just following him at this point. And then it's like, we're just going on the train, and I'm like, I'm the American like stereotype kind of. So it's like people are definitely looking. They're not really staring. It's not rude or anything.
Yeah.
But you can definitely like as soon as you enter the train, people will be like, just give you a quick look, and they're like, oh, okay. that guy is not Japanese. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Because like I'm noticeably taller than average Japanese people. So it's like I have to like get my head down a bit when we're going into places.
Yeah.
And like I'm in the train, it's fast as hell. It's hard to be standing up. It's just stuff that I've never experienced before. So we got off, and basically immediately we get I've been talking to this guy that we met in Hawaii for the Scandal show. And he just tells me like, yo, I live in Tokyo. And we're like, oh, we're going to our place. And he's like, okay, let's go get dinner. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. Haven't seen him in like 2 years since Hawaii, so it's like awesome.
Nice.
So we go to our hotel or to our Airbnb. After a 15-hour flight, I shower, change, we get ready, and we leave the place. We don't sleep, we don't chill, no time for jet lag. We exit the place. We go to Shibuya. I've never been to Shibuya in my life. We get there, and like I see the dog, and there's a lot of people because it's a night.
Yeah.
And I see Hachiko or Hachiko, right? The
That
dog.
must be pretty crazy, cause like, so you literally went from the airport, like, you dropped off your stuff and then went straight to Shibuya, like,
Yeah, there was no rest, no time to get used to anything. It was just like throwing you into the wolves.
straight to
So
like one of the busiest street crossings in
in the
Japan.
world,
Yeah,
right?
like,
So we get off. The train stations are crazy enough for me. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
mhm,
And then we exit at the Hachiko exit, and I
mhm,
see the statue, and we go. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
And then I'm looking at this sea of people to my right side, and I'm like, what are these guys doing? Like, that's ridiculous. And we meet our friend Yuya, and we're like, okay, we're waiting for some of his friends, and we're going to eat. They already have the place. I've never been, so I don't know where we're going.
mhm,
And then everybody's there. We're like, okay, let's go to this place. And then we move towards the right side where there's all the people, and I'm like, why is there so many people here? Then all the lights go green at the same time. And I'm like, and everybody starts moving. I'm like, what the hell? Whoa, the Shibuya crossing was intense, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah, especially at night. Do you remember what day of the week it was? Like, was it a weekend?
It must have been like a weekend or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Saturday. It was Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, Saturday night, there's gonna be a ton of people there.
It was unbelievable, man. It was crazy. So, we went to get dinner and everything, and then it's like we didn't let the jet lag catch onto us.
Uh-huh.
We were just like doing stuff from like one day to the other, like bam, bam, bam. And like the next day we meet with other friends that we met in Hawaii, and it's like amazing. And we discovered this thing that Japan has that's called like Nomi Hodai, which is like all you can drink for like 2 hours
Mm.
for like 1,500 yen, which is like $15.
Uh-huh.
So, and then we're like, okay, that's like free refills, right? Soda
Yeah.
in America is like a normal thing. But then they're like, no, you can get alcohol. And me and Neil are like, what? We can get alcohol? Or you can drink alcohol? That is ridiculous. So we pay, and then we also get tabe hodai, which is all you can eat.
Ah.
So we have this thing lined up, and we're getting food out and drinks. Like, I'm having so many drinks at the same time. Like, I'm like, yo, can I get an energy highball, which is like whiskey and Red Bull? And I'm like drinking it, and then the guy comes by bringing someone else's drink. I'm like, yo, can I get like umeshu or something, like the plum wine? I'm like, oh my god, it was so good. And
You're
then
like,
that's
jet lag? What's jet lag? Like,
forget it. There was no time for jet lag. So, and then we're eating at this place and having Nomi Hodai, and it's like we were supposed to go to Nagoya for our first live of the trip, which was going to be a Bradio and Homemade Kazuku live.
mm-hmm.
We're like, okay, we should take the Shinkansen at 2:30 p.m. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Then we're eating, we're drinking. Maybe we should do the 3 p.m. one. All right. Maybe the 3:30. Okay, it's 4. We need to catch the last one at like 4:20. So we finish up, we pay, and we leave, and we catch the Shinkansen, and we get to Nagoya like 10 minutes before the show started.
Uh-huh.
And we exit the station, and the Club Quattro is right there on the building, right next to the
nice.
station. So we get in there, we go to the 8th floor, and that's Club Quattro. So we enter, and it's sold out, full Club Quattro, and like, it's like we get a drink because you get a drink with a ticket.
Yeah, you have
It's like-
like
like
you must buy a drink to when you
Yeah,
go in.
And that one it was like included. So when you bought the ticket, you just give it to, you get a free ticket that you give it to the
I see.
bartender, and he gives you a free drink.
Yeah.
So we were drinking there, and the show starts in like 5 minutes, right on time. I'm like, whoa! It's like the ticket says show starts 6:45. 6:45, the lights go down. Like
Yeah.
that's how
exactly.
how
like,
intense it is. Like in the States, it's like, okay, show starts at 6, but not really. It starts at 8. So we're like, okay. In Japan, it says 6:45 in the ticket. 6:45 they start.
Yep.
So they start, and the bands come out, and the first band, Homemade Kazuku, is killing it. We're like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Mhm.
And then I'm thinking like, okay, I was thinking they were the main band, and they would just bring Bradio as like a second band, or like Bradio would play like 2 or 3 songs and they would leave.
Uh-huh.
And then turns out Bradio was the headliner, and Homemade Kazuku was just like as a guest. They played a lot of songs, so there was like a 2-man live.
Uh-huh.
But the crowd was really there for Bradio, and it was like once Bradio came out, they just started killing it. And it was like 100% crowd participation, dude. I'd never seen anything like it. Like they were
Yeah.
singing, and every single person in the crowd knew the songs. It's like when Scandal plays Doll and everybody gets the towel out. Everybody
Yep.
knows that it's these towel song, right?
Yeah, that's one
It's like
thing
it was
that's
like
like really different between shows in Japan and shows in the US. Like in Japan, like everybody knows the moves and
yeah.
like everyone's doing it together.
Yeah, or it's like if you see other people doing it, they join in, right? If they never.
Yeah.
But like in the States, it's like people that are doing specific things. You're like, what the hell? That's
Yeah. Everybody does
it,
something different in the
yeah.
US.
But
Like,
in Japan, it's like everybody's doing the moves. Like the
yep.
guys doing the dance moves, everybody else is doing them too. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because I was thinking like, I would know them because from the music videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
But not expect everyone else to be doing them.
Hmm.
And like the show finishes. It's my first live house in Japan.
Uh-huh.
Best concert I've been to so far. Like it was just absolutely amazing. And I don't use
Nice.
that sentence like lightly. Like I've been to some serious good shows.
Were
Like
you there
Scan.
to see both bands or
It was like a mix, like a match made in heaven kind of thing.
mm.
Because they have a song together.
I see.
So they play that song obviously. The song is called Sunday. The concert was on a Sunday. So it just all like lined up, It was just perfect.
Uh-huh.
It's like I like both of the bands. I don't it's not that I don't like them, it's that I don't know Homei Kasaku that much.
Uh,
But I know Bradio more, so we were like Neil likes Bradio and Homei Kasaku. So it was just perfect, dude.
mm-hmm.
So after that, that already set my expectations way high for anything Japan, music related, right?
Uh-huh.
So then it's like a couple days later, we're just going around Japan pretty much, just like discovering stuff, trying to do scandal stuff.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things that we did that was like really memorable. Remember when we went to that ramen and noodle shop
Mm.
where Scandal took the no music or no music no sisters poster?
Yeah. That was really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh man, that food was so good. It was ridiculous.
I know, right? But do you remember what we had exactly?
I remember the like pork fried rice and the gyoza
Mm.
and I forget. I mean, it was some sort of like ramen type thing, right?
Yeah, it was called rachen,
Uh-huh.
ramen and rice and fried rice.
Mm.
So, but it was like, and we took like the picture like Scandal and everything. You took the picture, yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah, I took the picture of you guys. That came
So,
out super nice.
so we try to do like the poses and everything, and like the same old lady was there, so it was like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Yeah,
see
that
what
was
else,
crazy.
we went to Tower Records Shibuya. They had the Scandal documentary playing,
Mm-hmm.
which was really good, and we got to see. We hadn't seen it yet, so we got to see a little preview of that. It was pretty good. Oh, and then the Scandal Shibuya shop was open, so
Mm.
we went to check it out before a couple days before the Budokan. We just wanted to see what they had like for sale, so we were like thinking about buying it in the future, so we wouldn't like be walking around with the bags.
Yeah.
So they had like the Kanta plushies and all kinds of T-shirts from previous tours. Like it was pretty cool actually. And then they have a book where you can sign where you came from, like,
Mm.
and you leave a message, and you put if it's okay for them to share online, and then you put your name and where you're from. So we put our stuff, and then we found out later that it was actually on the website, on the blog, or on the whatever website they have for the shop. Our messages were there, and then a couple days later, Rena went to the shop and she put a message too, and she made a blog post about it. So
That's
that was
sweet.
kind of surreal. Like we were just there, and Rena just happened to walk by, and she stopped for a second.
That's crazy. Like, I don't know if that was always there and I just missed it. I think that might be a new thing, but it's pretty cool that they have like a logbook of all the like countries and places people have come from.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool 'cause when they actually upload it, because I thought
Mm.
that would be like, oh yeah, it's just a book that they have it at the store, and you sign and then you never get to see that again.
Yeah.
But the fact that they actually updated it like online was actually really nice.
And they did it really quick too. Like it was
Yeah,
while
like
we were in Japan they updated it.
yeah, it was like a day after or something like that, which was like insane.